retard, retard, retard.
So, hello everyone. I hope you're all doing fine. Welcome to Yoda. Lilo, hello to you. And Tishka, hello. Right, welcome to today's stream. And as announced, we're doing a shared flight today with our brave moderator, Melindley. Hello, hello. Hello, Mark.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome aboard the
now it's me.
Twitch channel subscriber
Oh, that's right. Okay,
experience.
hang on.
For new subscribers, please make your way to the first class cabin, where
I'm bribing
complimentary
you.
drinks, snacks, and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Mark, thank you so much. And that's a 64
Happy
months.
anniversary.
Happy anniversary. It's crazy. 64 months and a tier 3 as well. Big round of applause for that. Hope that was working. Hold on. Yeah, it is. Mark, thank you so much.
You're more than welcome.
Right, so we all know Mark Lindley. We've done a shared flight, Mark, on stream. That's a long time ago, wasn't it?
A long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, so it was about time we did one again, but we did want to make sure that the shared flight app has reached a stage where we're comfortable and happy to use it, and confident that it will not cause any major issues. Stark, hello. Super Grumpy, hello to you. Paulot727, hello. Giftswork, hello to you as well. Right, well, let's dive right in it. So we are currently in Vienna, and as you can see from the traffic, we are actually on VATSIM. So that's something we thought we may as well do today. And the idea is that we're going to do 2 sectors. So the first sector, I will be pilot flying from Vienna to Venice and in Italy. And then we'll do a seat change, and Mark will be then pilot flying back to Vienna. Hey, Alex, how you doing? No, so the thing is, Mark has been, we've done a couple of offline flights together in the past weeks, and that is obviously in order, or that was due to the fact that we had to change checklists, change procedures. And as you all know by now, I think, we've got new checklists, right? Those were implemented about half a year ago, and also new briefing concepts. And by the way, this checklist you can download at blackbox711.com. So this is what we're going to use today regarding procedures and checklists and briefings. And then there's one more thing we had to practice, and that was the triggers for certain actions or checklists to be be started. Hey, Andreas, moin. And so there is certain things when you are flying together, just like in real life, there are certain actions which are triggered simply by moving a switch. So give an example, the after start flows, as you can see here on the flows items there, it says after start checklist. So the CM1 sets engine mode selected to norm, which triggers the after start flows. So that means that I don't say after start flows or after start procedure or anything like that. I simply select the engine start switch back to normal. And that's it. That's a trigger for the pilot monitoring then to start the after start flows. There's quite a number of triggers, as you can see. And that's why it did take a little bit of practice to get these things right, and not to have any confusion on what's going on. So, without further ado, let's start up the aircraft. And before Mark starts, we have, hang on, just check something here. Hold on, triggers, Toliss, calibrate, throttle quadrant. Okay, that's weird. Level 2, okay. Right, maybe we need to start up. That works, okay. That works as well. So, when starting up the aircraft in real life, as you get into a cold, dark flight deck, it's the crew member 2, so the first officer,
Welcome
to
aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel.
get the electrical power to the aircraft. So he'll do
Can
the
new subscribers
preliminary
please make your way
checks.
to the first
So he will
class
check,
cabin,
you know,
where
the start levers
complimentary
being
drinks,
off,
snacks and
or
premium
start switches
flight
being
entertainment
off,
will be
radar
served.
being off, wipers
Thank
being
you.
off, that sort of stuff. So he checks that. He puts the
Good
batteries
evening.
on,
Hope you are well.
and then he gets the external power on. Hey, Luke. Thank you so much for the 33. Cheers, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. Matthias, I'm not sure what flight crew training manual you are referring to, because you know it's hard for normal flight simmers to get their hand on a flight crew training manual. So that's why I made that file. So cool. The next thing to be synchronizing with is we've made the flight plan. So Mark has actually made the flight plan on SimBrief, and under the Toliss interactive simulation control system, we have put in Mark's SimBrief ID. So he on his system has his ID obviously in the setup here, and I've also put in his ID, and that means once we go into init and I hit the init request, so Mark, if you can go on the FMS on your side as well, please, on the init page. There we go. Now I hit init request, and it should download from SimBrief into both FMS, and that helps with synchronizing the data. So now you can see it's loading into both FMS or FMCs, and then we can go from there. Ignat, hey, how you doing? Cool. So Mark has established electric power to the aircraft. Now the pilot flying is doing his items. So he would obviously check the oxygen on his side. He would do the seat adjustments, panels check, etc., etc. And then he would go, as a pilot flying, go and do the items on the overhead panel as well. In real life, the first officer actually, just after establishing electric power, also switches on the nav system for the alignment, but the rest is then being done by the pilot flying. So in this case, I'm pilot flying. I will set on all the lights. We're still... we've got the fuel already, haven't we? So it's 5.8, yeah, so that's fine. We can put on the seatbelts. Does the way you turn on the IR switches actually matter? No, well, you can do left to right. The thing is, though, we've been trained to do it this way because, as you can see from the numbering, it's IR1, the left side. The IR2 is not the middle one, it's actually the right one. And IR3 is the middle one. So it's 1, 2, 3. And the same thing for when we switch things off. We go 1, 2, 3. We don't go left, right, or right, left. So, you know, we mentally always understand that it's just not a numbered alignment left, right. It is a bit mixed up on this panel. Have you tried the A350 for X-Plane? No. No, not yet. Hey, Amazing Maze. Hey, how you doing? Okay, so Mark would be then ready to do his outside check, I guess.
My way, Captain.
So, while he's doing the outside check, I will go ahead and prepare the MCDU now, just like I would do it in real life. So, just getting the latest ATIS information Golf 1650 UTC, departing runway 16. Oh yeah, and by the way, we are not on real time because I have actually downloaded orthos for the complete routing, so that we have something nice to look at. Yeah, Lilo, and I hope they don't overdo it again with the turbulences. I hope they kind of get it right, which would be great news. So we've got 1-6, and that means, according to my flight plan, just check chart. So it should be the Rupert to Bravo departure. So let's scroll down here. Rupert to Bravo, and we'll insert that. So that's the departure route. Hey, Captain Mitchell, nice to see you. How are you doing? And then the arrival for Venice is going to be Isles Zulu, 4 right, and that's going to be the Bazog to Echo, and that's an ANA for arrival. There it is. And then we will proceed via, let's check that. So let's go and get the charts for Venice. And Aaron, hey, nice to see you. How are you doing? So Bazok to Echo arrival. And there you go. So from Bazok.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber experience.
Hey, Sim Caesar, nice to see you.
Subscribers, please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Woohoo. Woohoo back. How are you, Sim Caesar? Thank you so much for the 49 months, and a big shout out to Sim Caesar. Now, I don't know if that's going to work, because somehow the Nightbot is down.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Duo channel experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium flight infotainment will be served. Thank you.
So SimCaesar, thank you so much. A big shout out for anyone who doesn't know SimCaesar yet. Please make sure check out his channel here on Twitch. And also the real Tyro Goth, thank you. Hello, welcome. And an anonymous gifter has gifted a sub to Ricardo. Thank you so much to the anonymous for that wonderful gift. And here's JSnap, the developer of the Shared Flight app. Still in, let me just add, is still in beta development, so it's not a finished product just yet. And so we'll see. Hopefully everything goes well. The last couple of tests have gone very well. Aaron, when are you joining us? Now, or are you already in? And there will be 3 settings for the turbulence, so that's good. That's good news. Right, and we were going to check regarding Laren. That's the last point. So we're going to go via Laren, insert that. We'll check the waypoints later in flight. I'm going to check the departure for now. But while I'm here, let me just get the approach chart in here as well. There we go. Cool. So for now, though, let me go and go to departures. And then we want to have the ANFZ Rupert to Bravo, I think it was. Yeah, Rupert to Bravo, 16 departure, up to 5,000 feet. And Jerry, hey, how you doing? So 5,000 it is. Constraints on. That's good, that's good. So, Init A page is filled out. 340 is the planned level. Init B page, alternate fuel should be, let's just check. The alternate fuel. So the alternate is going to be Lima India Papa Echo, which is Bergamo, I think. 1.1 ton. Let's check the weather files here. So, oh no, so disregard. It's Bologna, not Bergamo. Bologna is the alternate airport. So right now at Venice we have 070 at 17. Bologna. Bologna. No, Bologna. Isn't it Bologna? All right. So 070 at 17, cab OK, 4 degrees, and QNH 1037. And there's no big change there for the next couple of hours. Bologna is the same, good weather. And Vienna also the same. Southerly winds, bit cold, but high pressure. So very nice, stable weather. Shouldn't be any issues today on that. Cool. So there we go. So we've done that. I will add 1.1 ton in here. So we got a 1 ton extra fuel. That's actually pretty much what we have also on the flight plan. So if we go check the flight plan again, it will tell us that we have extra fuel. Let's just check here. There we go. 1 ton extra fuel. So that's pretty good. Right. What else? So that's in the A page, in the B page filled out. We've got the flight plan page now filled out. There's no discontinuities in there. That's fantastic. RATNAV for departure. Now we don't really need anything, but for a, in case quick return, Fisherman is a VOR nearby, and then also I want to have the engine out procedure. 16 will be 18 dmis Wagram, and then left turn to Wagram to hold. So we'll put Whiskey Golf Mike in here as well in case of engine failure. And NDP2, that's fine. Okay, so so that's the radio nav page filled out. So diff rips. Next will be performance. Now here's the cool thing. Hang on, is Mark back yet?
Yeah, listening, Captain.
Nice. Okay. So any issues on the walk around?
All good.
Thank you. Guys, is Mark loud enough, or do we need to change his volume level? And Muscalazone, hey, and Afgig. Oh, nice. You're getting your Airbus 320 rating next month. Nice. GG. All the best. Maybe a bit more. Okay, I'll dial up Mark a little bit more then.
Testing, testing.
There we go. It should be fine. Cool. Excellent. 5 out of 5. There we go. Good. So, what we do now is, so I've entered pretty much all the data in the MCU apart from performance data. I've just checked the latest ATIS mark. It's info Golf. It says, actually, you know what? They've just changed it. Good thing I just checked. They changed departure runway. It's 29.
Right.
So this is just like in real life. This is exactly just like real life. The good thing I haven't done any performance calculations yet. So departure 29. So let's just check. So that's going to be different departure route for sure. So then it's going to be Rupert 29. It's going to be the 2 Charlie departure. So Rupert 2 Charlie. Just checking that. So the waypoints are as follows. It's going to be 1,000 feet height. So not height, 1,000 feet altimeter, Barrow, which is only about 500 feet height. Overfly, left turn, Whiskey 296, 383, 172, and then Rupert at initial climb still remains 5,000. So that's all correct, programmed. The cool thing, hey Yora, welcome back. The cool thing now about the Toliss is we have a takeoff performance calculator. And in shared flight, it means we'll do that exactly like in real life. So we both look at the ATIS, and we may just, put a comment out regarding intersections that we may use for departure. And Mark, what would you recommend in our case today?
Let's check the chart, Captain. 1 second. So the taxi for departure, I think we'll go on to Mike, and then up to, I think Alpha 10 we could probably manage. Sorry, Alpha 3.
Yeah, Alpha 3
could manage. Yeah,
I agree. So we'll go back, and that's Alpha 3. Now, if you go to the charts, and actually let me pull up that on on SimToolkit Pro, so I don't have to all these different charts open on the Avi tab. So if you go to airport info and you look at the departure runways, it will give you a remaining distance for that runway. So for runway 29, for example, the full length will be 3,500 meters, and then from Alpha 3 it's 3,158 meters remaining. So we have a shift of 342 meters, unless I have messed up my calculations here. So I'm going to put in 342 into the intersection takeoff. So that's the shift, and you see that later here on the display. The wind is 113 at 5, so we are going to have a little bit tailwind, and we'll see that as well. Temperature 2, it says. Well, it should be -1, but I'll add 1 degree, so we'll add once that's 0 degrees. QNH is 1028. Actually, it's not. It's actually 1042, so I'll subtract 1 hectopascal, so 1041. And condition dry, anti-ice. There's no humidity around, so the apron runway is dry, and clouds are fairly high, so nothing we need to consider here regarding anti-ice. Takeoff weight. So let me just check that here in the fuel prediction page, actually in the B page. So 60.4 is the estimate takeoff weight. So let's just put that in there. 60.4, CG 28.9 looks good. Thrust flex config. Let's see what it spits out with auto. Air conditioning, Mark, what do you think? On or off?
Air conditioning will go off.
Roger. So let's compute that. So you can see it has added the shift of 342 meters from runway 29. We have 5 knots tailwind included. And so the accelerated stop distance minimum is 1336 meters. And that's the lower V1 range. If we take the top V1, then the accelerated stop range means it's going to be 2,609 meters. So of course, if we abort, or if we make our V1 decision speed lower, the accelerated stop distance will be shorter. But Mark, if you agree, I think we'll go with the upper value today.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the advantage of taking the upper V1 value is that if you have any serious failures on the runway, if you take the upper V1 value, you have more time to then decide to abort the takeoff and not take that failure into the air. Because remember that once we say V1, that's it. After that, it doesn't matter what failure you have to take it into the air with you. So we'll take the upper V1, and that still gives us a stop margin of 573 meters, which is plenty. So Mark, do you have the same values, or do you have something different?
I have the same values.
Perfect. So I will enter those. So it's going to be 383841. Now I know you can normally pop out the MCDU, but in shared flight, although unless JSNAP says something else, but if I remember correctly, we should leave that as is. You shouldn't pop the MCDU out, so you don't get issues with the synchronization. It may not be an issue anymore though. 141. Oops. That was 10,000 is the transition. 141. And then you got flaps 1 plus F. No, we're doing shared flight with a new app. It's in beta development right now. Shared flight, it's called. Yoda, thank you. So flaps 1 it is. And if we could take the CG, it's 0 fuel weight 28.5. So we'll take that 28.5. Actually, disregard. So the takeoff value. Yeah, up 0.4 in this case. Oh, it says it here as well. Trim horse, okay. So that's up 0.4. One thing we always check as well is green dot speed. So 206 from the calculator, and we check that here in the MCU as well, 206, and that is to minimize any errors that we may have put in while entering the weight data. Right, so the MCU calculates its clean speed and the characteristic speeds from the value entered the MCU, while here in the EFB it's a separate calculation, and so they have to add up. FGeek, again straight from Diamond 42 King Air 350, biggest challenge going on aircraft the size beside the inertia. So we talk about real life, right? Speed, FGeek. So when you go transition from even a turboprop to a jet, the biggest issue really is the speed at which the jets go. So that's something initially, you're going to have a little bit of an issue normally trying to stay ahead of the aircraft. But you get used to that very quickly because it's about workload management, and that's all you need to learn in this case. And then once you've done that, you should be fine. Yaroslav, hey, how you doing? No, so Musku, you need to wait until you get a approval from the developer. So it's not as if you can download it instantly, because again, it's still the beta, so it's kind of a closed beta. Yeah, just give it some time, and then once the developer decides to add more beta testers, then you get a message. Right, and the Flex is 68. That's the last thing to put in here. Well, not the last thing, but from the calculator. And then we go back to our airport data. So NDP2, 1600, 1600. And from an elevation of about 600 feet, that's pretty much 1,000 feet. And then the engine out acceleration is 2,100. Going to add that in here as well. And I'll add a couple more things. Secondary flight plan, copy the active, and we'll do a return plan. So landing runway is 16, departure 29. So we'll do ILS 16, no start, and no via. So now we have a return plan. Although, hang on, yes I have. So let's check that. Secondary flight plan. The ILS 16. I'm just. Okay. Right. So, and then one more thing to do is I go to data, pilot routes. And what I'll do is I'll put in Vienna, Venice 1, and store the active flight plan. Oh, it doesn't matter. So we'll take that. So that way we quickly check that we have the right routing. And F-16 pilot, hey, greetings to Turkey. Yeah, very tragic to hear what happened there with the earthquake. Yeah, very, very sad indeed. Yeah. How's shared flight compared to smart co-pilot? So, yes, it works much, much better in shared flight. There's a lot of features where synchronization is much better. The connection is a lot easier and more stable. And that's really why I have stopped using smart co-pilot, because literally if you desynchronize there, well, it depends on the add-on, but normally that's it. You can't really get back that well. QNH 1042, so let me just add that mark. So 1042 on my side is set.
Yep. 1042. And I'll do the standby.
Welcome aboard
You've
the
done it,
Captain Black Box Duo
So
Channel
one last
Experience.
thing I'll enter now is the engine
Could
up
new
procedure.
subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight infotainment will be served. Thank you.
Runway 29. Thank you, Blanche. How you doing? Thank you so much for the 6 months. Thank you. Yes, so shared flight should also work in X-Plane 11. And I've done an X-Plane 11 flight not too long ago with Lee, one of my moderators as well, and that worked fine. So it's going to be initially 7.4 miles. So initially it's going to be track 292. And then it's going to be to 7.4 Denise Fisherman. So I'll put 7 so that we have a turn just after that. And then it's left turn to Bravo Romeo Kilo Beacon. Now I think, let's see, it's drawing that. Well, we'll see. I think mark is still the same, isn't it? It doesn't draw it on the display. It doesn't know it apparently, it seems. Right. So, Mark, I'm pretty much finished with entering all the data. So, would you be so kind to check everything?
I will check. Thank you, Captain.
So, there's something that's what's done in real life as well. So, I will let my first officer know when I've finished my preparations, and then he'll check everything that I've inserted into the MCDU. And if he finds anything wrong, he'll let me know. Shared flight.
I don't think I'd dare.
Yeah. Sorry?
I don't think I'd dare let you know.
Oh, yes, so you would. Of course you would. So,
Fine.
Captain Mitchell, shared flight MD-11, I don't know. So, at the moment, the developer is concentrating on the Toliss and the Zebo because these are literally the two most used add-ons.
Twitch channel subscriber experience.
And then at later stages, they may add some more aircraft.
Where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Cactus 683, love that call.
Good afternoon. Hope all is well. All the best.
Thank you so much, Cactus. Yes, doing very well. Thank you so much for your support, and I hope you're doing well. Greetings to New York. How's the weather in New York right now? Because here in Europe, it's quite cold. It could be Yoda. I need to check my documents, my real-world documents. It could be that that ADF doesn't exist anymore.
Just need a wind request, Captain.
Oh, you're right. Could catch. You see, that's why we have... the other person checking. Data... active winds... wind request. So let's have a look. Wow, there's a lot of wind. 074 at 95. So I guess that means we have a bit of tailwind outbound. And then we come back with headwinds. Let's just check that theory. Oh yeah, plus 48 average going to Venice. Good. Excellent. Love it. Good catch with the winds. Perfect.
Yep, that's all good, Captain. Thank you.
Excellent. Right. So the option would be we would get the clearance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea before I do the briefing because I'm not sure about the departure route 100%. So Mark will go ahead and get the clearance. Remember that. Oh yeah. So this is one thing it's worth noting. So the A320 can be a bit of a issue when you are not used to how the panel works. So we're using shared flight here. You have to use those panels exactly as in the real aircraft. So if the CM2 wants to transmit on the number 1 frequency, he has to select VHF 1. Also on the audio control panel, make sure that the stop coding. the volume knob is up and a certain volume is selected, and you have that call button selected as well for VHF 1. And then we make sure that we don't have the same frequency on the second set. So if I go to on mark set on VHF 2, I will select guard. No worries, Jason, all good. Right, so on the 2 set, we have selected guard, and if I have that open like this, then we will hear guard talk as well. Dial that level down. So the clearance ground should be 1216 mark, I think.
Yep. So I'm going to have to use your radio for that.
Nope.
I can use mine.
Yeah, you can use yours and then transfer, and you'll see that transfer on my side. That's a convenient thing.
Yeah. It's the first time we tried this, so that'd be good to see. There we go.
Yeah. Right, and I've just seen that the volume for the stream is about. It's all fine in game, but I think the viewers probably heard ATC very quietly.
He was very quiet to me, so I'm just going to see if I can boost him actually.
So. Can we do the following? Maybe Mark try the... Okay,
I think it's just the controller.
Oh. Well, I can hear ATC fine. It's just it just doesn't seem to be loud enough on the stream. Now the question is, where is that volume? Hold on. I'll get to that in a second. We'll get to the ground of this. Volume mixer. Yeah, but hang on, guys. It's just a controller, yeah. So
when he spoke to me, he was very quiet, but the last messages he's been louder.
So guys, can you understand the controller? Can you hear him loud enough? Nope. Okay, so that's the thing. Mark, I'm just going to log off Discord for a second, okay? I'll be back on Discord in a few seconds.
Yep.
Guys, so that means you can't hear ATC at all? Is that what you're telling me? Ah, okay. Ah, roger. Right, so... Yeah, I think I found the issue. Hold on. I'm just gonna get Mark back on, and then I think I just found the issue, yeah. Yeah, okay. It should work now. Hold on. So I'll select ATIS quickly. 22950. Yeah, the channel was wrong. That's why.
Okay. Temperature -2. Dew point -6 QNH1042. Nozig. Advise on initial contact. You have information hotel.
Okay,
yep,
there
they
we
can
go.
hear.
Yeah. And
This is Beach Chat Information
connected
Hotel.
back again as well. Cool.
At time
Excellent.
1720 Zulu. Arrival run.
Okay, so we did hear the ground. He gave us the clearance. Rupert to Charlie, climb 5,000, but it did not copy. Was it 1,000 on the squawk?
1,000, correct.
Okay, Mark has already set that 1,000. Perfect. Thank you much for that. Cool. 5 out of 5. Cool. I'm just gonna. Let me just put 122.8 quickly while we do the briefing. So there we go. But got a bit of quiet. Do you have scenery? Yes, we've got scenery for both. We've got scenery here in Vienna. And we also have payware scenery for Venice. And I have orthos on the way. And that just let me just change times. What time do you have now, Mark, on the clock?
I have 14, 28, and 12.
Exactly. Cool.
Yep.
All right. So then I'll give you a briefing. And what we do, guys, we use the briefing as laid out by our new briefing methodology. So Mark will start as a pilot monitoring and brief us on these items here, as you can see.
I can't cheat now if you leave that there. Okay, takeoff runway. Takeoff runway today is runway 29. The SID is the Rupert to Charlie, which is inserted into the FC and FMC and checked. Our first cleared altitude will be 5,000 feet, which is set. MSA Mora for the climb is going to be 10,000 feet, so high land terrain over to the west. Extra fuel and time, we have 1 ton extra fuel on board, which will give us 36 minutes of transit time if needed.
Perfect. Yeah, that checks with the FMC. Nice.
Yep.
So then we go as the pilot flying. I will brief these items. So for the taxi out, we expect a pushback facing very likely to the east, and then we taxi out via Tango Lima 37, exit 4, Mike, and then we should get Alpha 3 intersection. If not, we'll offer them the tower later, or whoever's responsible for the takeoff clearance could be approached that we require or request Alpha 3. That's what we've calculated for performance, including the shift, and that left us a stop margin of 573 meters. The engine failure procedure is a non-standard procedure, runway 29, initial climb, acceleration 2,100 feet. And then we proceed laterally to 7.4 degrees Fisherman, and then we turn left to Bravo Romeo Kilo to hold or get radar vectors. I think it's going to be easy getting radar vectors after we declared emergency. I would suggest climbing at least 3,000 feet once we have secured the engine, and then in 3,000 feet we're good to go on radar vectors to then return for the ILS 16 in Vienna. Long runway, good weather. We are for landing below max landing weight of 61 tons, so there should not be any issues on that. I don't see anything non-standard, so everything's working as it should. Mark, do you see any threats?
Only threat, I think, is the slight tailwind, 3-knot tailwind on takeoff, but well within our capability.
Okay, that's a good point. Then we've included 5 knots of tailwind component. Should the takeoff clearance give us a wind that has more than 5-knot tailwind component, we have to recalculate our performance data. Keep that in the back of the mind. Apart from that, yeah, it's a short aircraft, so there shouldn't be any tail strike risk, even with tailwind. And yeah, I think I don't see any bigger threats either.
Excellent.
So
okay,
I'll start the APU quickly, and then here is the thing. So we got a trigger, and it's really a good trigger, actually. So once the departure briefing is completed, read the cockpit preparation checklist. And you should stick to that, because otherwise it's very easy to forget that checklist. So Mark, would you be so kind to read the cockpit preparation checklist, please?
Yes, Captain. Gears, pins and covers.
Removed.
And fuel quantity.
5,840 kilograms balanced.
Checked. And seatbelts.
On.
ADIRS.
NAF.
Barrow ref.
QNH 1042.
And QNH 1042 checked. Cockpit preparation checklist complete.
Perfect. So when you're doing a shared flight, so simulating a normal cockpit environment, one of the pilots will call out a checklist title, and the pilot monitoring will then read that checklist, and once that checklist is completed, the pilot monitoring will always say whatever checklist has just been read. In this case, it was cockpit preparation checklist completed. And these wordings, they may seem benign to you, but these kind of strict wordings are so important, especially in phases where you have a high workload. What are my thoughts on a Toliss? Well, if you compare everything to the most little detail, well, you're always going to find something to complain about. For me, the Toliss is a very nice aircraft to do things like shared flight, for example. Because it has very accurate simulations of the systems. I know not perfect, but good enough for a normal flight simmer. It's very stable, good performance on FPS, so I do like it in this regard. Hey George, thank you. And Bluebee, hey, how you doing? What livery? Well, we have a special windmill one engine out livery for this. Okay, so APU bleed is on, external power is off, and so I will select ground services, external power, chocks, all gone.
I'd call the truck.
Shall I do it, or will you do it?
I think you should do it as your pilot. Yeah.
Yeah, so there is a little trick here, better pushback, pre-plan, and there's a button there that says connect first. So you don't have to plan anything, but the pushback truck is already connecting. And so Mark, would you be so kind to get to the ground frequency again and then ask for pushback?
Vienna ground is the windmill 711.
Oh, you're on, Mark, hang on, you're transmitting on 122.8. I selected 122.8 because just so that we have a piece of quiet when briefing.
Yeah, Roger, sorry. Okay.
Hang on, just make sure under one set. Always check the frequency that's on the number 1 set on my side.
Yeah, 11825.
Ground is 121.6.
2.6. Sorry, that was all set before, so...
hey, Milton.
Just page that back.
Park and brake set. Oh, no, it's not. Hang on. Park and brake is now set.
Destination portal 7-1 Charlie departure.
Mark, just give me a second. Just give me 1 second. I need to...
Squawk 1611 Ryanair 11 Bravo Quebec. 11 Bravo Quebec.
I need to deselect the landing gear lever.
Roger, 4611.
Otherwise, you won't be able to
Bravo Quebec.
raise or lower the landing gear.
Thank you, Yoda.
Radar 134675, Eurowings 1 Zulu November, bye-bye.
And also I will have to deselect
Ground Austrian 501 radio check.
the axis here.
Austin 501, Wien ground, radio 5 now.
Wien ground.
Okay, there we go. That's all set.
Request Alpha clearance to Innsbruck with information hotel.
All good?
501,
Yeah, all
hold
good.
this correct, get to Innsbruck, weiter Austin 4 Charlie, departure, route initial climb to 5,000 feet, squawk 1000.
Get to Innsbruck via Austrian 4 Charlie, departure initially 5,000 feet, squawk 1000, Austrian 501.
501, is that correct?
Austrian 5 Mike Papa, hello, stand Foxtrot 1-2, request push and start.
5 Mike Papa, push and start.
I can barely
Push and
hear
start
you.
approved,
it's busy.
and blue line, Austrian 5 Mike Papa, if unable, we'll call back. Windmill 711, stand Foxtrot 03, request push and start.
711, push and start approved, facing left.
Was that west?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Windmill 711, push and start approved, facing west.
711, disregard facing east, please.
East down. Okay.
Disregard facing east, windmill 711.
So, Mark, so now that I've connected the truck, how do I pre-plan the pushback again?
Just show the screen.
Request
Yeah.
taxi.
It's not come up on my display yet.
And
And just
Ah,
start pushback.
yeah,
and
yeah,
it'll
okay.
prompt you.
Ah, there we go.
only 0.29 via exit 5 and
So,
Mike,
facing east.
QNH 1042.
Facing
Perfect.
east.
Hey, Toto. Brakes are east.
11 Bravo Quebec, ready for
Ready for push, face the west.
Charlie 41.
And 1 Bravo Quebec push and start approved.
Okay, Mark, so B4 start
11 Bravo
checklist.
Quebec.
Parking brake.
Off.
Takeoff speeds.
And by the way, you are allowed now to say 138, 138, 141, flex 68.
Austrian 501,
Okay.
request push and start.
So is that your
Yep. That's it.
takeoff speeds and thrust? Yeah,
Yeah.
so 138, 138, 141, flex 68.
Push and start approved, facing
Windows.
east, Austrian 501.
Closed.
And closed a beacon
On.
before start. Checklist completed.
Right, so. Starting engine 2. I'm not sure why they're not switching over to the doors into flight.
I think it did that before.
So normally it would have done that by now.
Wien ground, guten Abend. Rookie 2 Charlie, stand Alpha 36 with information hotel, request IF automation.
To Charlie Wien ground, good evening information, hotel Captain Munich, 1 Charlie departure, route initial climb is 5,000 feet and the squawk is 1,000.
Good engine start, so starting engine 1.
Yep.
Can you confirm the departure, please?
Mobile 1 Charlie.
Rookie 2 Charlie, we are cleared München, Sovel 1 Charlie departure, initial climb 5,000 feet and squawk 1,000.
B2 Charlie, is that correct? 275, contact Wien, radar 134.
Parking brake set.
75, goodbye. Wings 275, contact Wien, radar 134, decimal 675. 134,675,
So now after the engine has stabilized and the generator's kicked in, there we go. I'm just going to select that back to norm. And that's the signal for Mark to his items. So do his items, and I'll do my items, which is switch off the APU. And then once I can see that it's done that, I say, Mark, ready for the flight control check.
Okay, ready for flight control check.
Okay. Thank you much. See you next time. Right, here we go.
Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Rudder.
Full left. Full right. And neutral.
So normally Mark would do his flight control check, but since we're doing shared flight and I have the flight controls, we skip that. Now the next trigger is the all clear signal by the ramp agent or pushback driver, which I can see on the left hand side. So Mark, please, after start checklist.
After start checklist. Anti-ice.
Off.
ECAM status.
Checked.
Pitch trim.
Let's just check. Yeah, 28.9%.
And rudder trim.
Neutral.
After start checklist completed.
Right. And then request taxi, please.
Ryanair 11 Bravo, Quebec, ready for taxi.
Yoda, yeah. So the doors have been removed, because normally you would check that prior to pushback. But that doesn't work in the sim, so now it's switched over. But in the sim, it just doesn't work that way, unfortunately.
Point runway 29, exit 900 Mike. Connect 1042, Ryanair 11 Bravo.
And Austrian 501 ready for taxi. 501 taxi to Holy Point runway 29 mile, whiskey and Mike to Greenwich 1042. Greenwich 1042 and taxi to Holding Point runway 29 mile, whiskey and Mike, Austrian 501.
Windmill 711 ready for taxi.
711, follow alternate in front of you, Holy Point runway 29 via whiskey and Mike, Greenwich 1042.
I can't hear a word of that.
Whiskey Mike behind the traffic in front.
Taxi runway 29 via Whiskey Mike, following the taxi in front, the aircraft in front, Windmill 711, QNH 1042.
Can you boost the volume on your system?
It's only him. Everybody else is very clear. He's just super quiet, and I've got all the everything to the right.
Yeah. Right, clear left side.
And clear right side.
And Mike, QNH 1042, Austrian 5 Mike Papa.
Oh, hang on, my thrust levers aren't working yet for some reason. Just going to check the... Ah, there we go. So that should be throttle 1. Don't know why that has reset it. That should be throttle 2. There we go. Giftswerk, you don't have to tell him just yet. We'll tell him once we get a little bit closer, because right now the situation is very dynamic. Yeah, he's very quiet.
Yeah.
Give to Boeing 727, right to left, left to right, Austrian 501.
Brake check.
Pressure 0.
Thank you. It's very dynamic, so we've got lots of traffic taxiing around. We don't know when our cabin is ready. So I'll wait until I get closer to the runway, and if we're ready, and if it makes sense to do an intersection takeoff, then we'll tell the ground. Because it doesn't make sense to tell them now, and then we decide, oh, the cabin is ready, or we haven't finished the checklist yet, right?
Okay, Lufthansa 6 Mike November, clear to Munich via the Sommel 1 Charlie departure, initial climb 5000, squawk 1000.
Cabin is ready, so we'll be ready for the flows and the checklist, please.
Yep. Okay, let's do the Plus.
ground clearing Lufthansa 8083 Heavy. Lufthansa 8033, I'm going to shortly. And 1 Bravo, Quebec, contact Indra 134605. Eine 1 Bravo, Quebec, contact Indra
Okay.
134605.
Ready for the checklist.
Just one more item, Mark.
134,675, runner 11
All the
Bravo,
brakes.
But 5 to 1, that was the one give way, now hold position.
Yeah, we go.
Holding position on
Taxi
501.
checklist, please.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Flap settings.
Config 1 plus F.
Config 1 plus F. Radar and predictive wind shear.
On and auto.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Ecam memo.
Takeoff. No blue.
Taxi checklist completed.
Station calling standby. Osman 501 after passing of the A320 lateral
Welcome aboard the Captain.
So, Mark, I think it's a good idea to pre-select 134,675 on number 2 set.
Yeah.
left to right, Ocean
Complimentary
501.
drinks, snacks and premium
No,
flight
711
entertainment will be
continue
served.
taxi.
Thank you.
Yeah, continue taxi, he said.
Continue taxi, windmill 711.
Von 5 Mike Papa, contact Radar 1346.
Game stuff, thank you much for the 28 months.
Radar 134675, Mike Papa. Danke dir, Servus.
And Chris Lee as well, thank you so much for your 56 months. Have a good flight, he says. Thank you so much.
Welcome aboard the Captain
Sorry, I
Black
didn't
Box
ask
Twitch
for
channel
that.
And Amantha, hello.
Could new subscribers please make
confirm
their way
unable
to the
VDC.
first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and
Lufthansa
premium
803
flight
PDC
entertainment will be
is
served. Thank
Got a
you.
reply from you, airspace restrictions, but I'll try logging
Have a
on
good
again.
flight.
Thank you much, Chris Lee. Thank you so much for the support. Thanks for the kind words.
Around in Mike 0 Mike, that is request push and stop. Osman 1471, push, that's not approved. Zero line. Left, I'm 10, 471. Osman 501, contact Radar 134675.
So here's the thing, guys.
Green Radar 134675, danke, servus.
So we can already see.
711, contact Radar 134675.
Yeah, 34675.
Got the change yet?
Yeah.
Green Radar Austrian 501, hello.
What did you read back, Mark?
No, because I
Okay.
didn't hear him.
Okay.
501,
So I'll
take a
switch
left
them now.
turn, intersection Alpha 2.
Left Alpha 2, Austrian 501.
Northern 501, behind departing company A320 lineup runway 29.
It's a bit louder. Can you hear him?
Hear him, yeah, he's
Right
fine.
behind A320.
Yeah, we can tell him Able Alpha 3.
I'll call him in a second, Alpha 3, yeah.
Austrian 501.
Ryanair 11 Bravo Quebec, Wien, radar identified, altitude 2600, climb level 240.
Windmill 711, ready, Alpha 3, runway 29.
Climbing T40 Ryanair 11 Bravo Quebec.
Yeah, that could have been crossed transmission.
Windmill 711, fully ready, Alpha 3.
Windmill 711, hold position number 3 in sequence.
Hold position number 3 in sequence, Windmill 711.
Austrian 5 Mike Papa, wind 14 degrees, 3 knots, runway 29 are cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 29, Austrian 5 Mike Papa.
Someone is transmitting right now.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure who that is.
But this guy's a lot clearer.
Speed up stuff 54 Mike Delta, wind 140 degrees, 3 knots, runway 16 cleared
Right,
to
let's
land.
just hold position here then. If you
Speed up 54 Mike Delta, cleared to land, runway 16.
Aero Wings 1 Zulu November, contact Praha 118.375, goodbye.
Praha 18375, Aero Wings 1 Zulu November, bye bye.
Gifts back. Well, one of us connects as normal, and then the pilot monitoring connects as observer. So there's a tick box, connect as observer, and then you put an X-pilot, you put, as you connect, your call sign and then like A behind it. So, you know, windmill Oscar Echo Oscar 711A or B or whatever. So you have a separate call sign number there. What do you mean wrong, Sig, Alexander?
Austrian 5 Mike Papa, airborne passing 2300.
Austrian 5 Mike Papa, identified climb level 240.
And flight level 240, Austrian 5 Mike Papa.
Yeah, Aaron, no problem. All good. Alexander, that's all we've been cleared. So we have been cleared via the Rupert 2 Charlie departure. I tried SEPA DLC at some point. I'm not sure if it didn't work here in XP12 or not.
Austrian 501, wind 1403 degrees, 3 knots, runway 29, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 29, cleared for takeoff, Austrian 501.
Yes, Samantha, we're doing.
Windmill 711, behind departing, Airbus A320, line up at runway 29 and wait behind.
Behind departing, Airbus, line up and wait behind at windmill 711.
There we go. There's Airbus departing for sure, so we'll line up. Hey Bob, thank you so much. Right, Mark, then whenever ready, cabin crew.
Wings 275, contact mean radar 118.
Takeoff runway
is 29 Alpha 3.
29 Alpha 3, TCAS.
Bye-bye.
TARA.
Pack 1 and 2.
Off.
Lineup checklist completed.
Thank you much. Approach sector is clear. So, 1,000 feet left, according to the waypoints. I have a feeling, Mark, the QNH hasn't updated correctly. That's why it's kind of showing that weird. I'm just going to rescan the weather. Yeah, because it shows 1,000 feet on my altimeter.
711, wind 140 degrees, 3 knots, runway 29 are cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, windmill 711.
Ready.
Okay.
Speed hamster 54 Mike Delta, willkommen in Wien, ground 121 decimal 6.
Takeoff.
Goodbye.
Speed hamster 54 Mike Delta 121 decimal 6, bis später.
Manflex 68 SAS, auto thrust split. Thrust set. Mark.
501 identified.
100 knots.
Checked.
Climb level 240.
Climb flight level 240, Austrian 501.
V1. Rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up.
Austrian
Gears
5
up.
Mike Papa, proceed direct open.
So, NAF.
Austrian 5 Mike Papa, just confirm.
Thrust down, climb up, blue auto thrust.
Affirmative.
I'll just go direct to Whiskey 296 now.
Windmill 711 identified 2500, climb level 240.
Climb 240, windmill 711.
Flaps 0.
Speed checked. Flap 0.
Since I'm still flying manual, Mark has to dial in 24,000 now from me in the autopilot panel.
Yeah.
Austrian 501, proceed direct Ospen.
And there it is. So I can say now thrust climb up to 24,000. Autopilot 1. And there we go, inbound. Oh,
Ooh.
Pax. No worries. It can happen to me as well. It's a busy departure. There you go. So that's why we have that caution come up. A lot of stuff happening at the same time. Yeah, it seems like XP12. So it's not an issue with shared flight. It's an issue with XP12 and loading the real-world weather. That was blocked, but just wait.
Austin 1471, Alpha 3 approved, line up runway 29 and wait.
Right. So we're just going to wait until passing 10,000. That's the transition. So at this point we still concentrate on flying the aircraft. Look outside, because there could be some VFAT traffic, depending on the airspace. Den Darren, yes, absolutely. I installed the orthos as well today. So looking back over Vienna.
240, Ryanair 11, Bravo, Quebec. Ryanair 11, Bravo, Quebec. Contact mean radar 118.725, goodbye.
Okay, set standard.
118725, Ryanair 11, Bravo, Quebec, Bob.
In radar Servus, Lufthansa 6 Mike November on Mike.
Crash desktop.
Oh, we had a crash desktop?
Yep.
Oh no!
Lufthansa 6 Mike November,
So,
Alpha 3.
best thing is then
As we said.
We were planning
pause
on
the
Alpha 4
aircraft.
actually, Lufthansa 6 Mike November.
Yep.
LOWW.
Lufthansa 6 Mike November, Alpha 4 approved, behind departing A320, line up runway 29 and wait behind.
Behind
So
departing
restarting there?
A320,
Yep.
line up runway 29 via Alpha 4 and wait behind Lufthansa 6 Mike November.
Austin 1471, wind 140 degrees, 3 knots, runway 29
Wow,
cleared for
we've not
takeoff.
had this ever before.
Austin 5 Mike Papa, contact Wien radar 118.725, goodbye.
Wien radar 118.725, Austin 5 Mike Papa, Dankeschön.
JSnap, if you're here, do we need to pause the sim, or can Mark just reconnect? Yeah, hang on, whatever, mate. We have a slight different problem right now. Do I need to pause the sim, or can Mark just restart X-Plane and reconnect again? Yeah, he had to crash the desktop. That's what I'm asking. Okay, that's fine then. All right. Without pausing. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, we'll try.
500, climb level 240.
Climb level 240, 1571.
Yeah, CPDLC should be working. The only issue if I remember correctly, I had was that it would sometimes kind of not allow it to clear the messages. That's the only real issue I've had in the past.
Rookie 2 Charlie, Wien radar, Servus, continue taxi, Alpha 6, report, departing Lufthansa A320 inside.
We continue taxi Alpha 6 and we have the Lufthansa inside of Rookie 2 Charlie.
Rookie 2 Charlie behind, departing Lufthansa A320, line up runway 29 and wait behind.
After the Lufthansa, line up runway 29 and wait, the Rookie 2 Charlie.
Lufthansa 6 Mike November, wind 140 degrees, 3 knots, runway 29 are cleared for takeoff.
Runway 29, clear for takeoff, Lufthansa 6, Mike November.
Now I'm joining the flight.
Okay.
Austrian 5, Mike, Papa, contact Wien radar 118.725, goodbye.
So you should be the first officer seat now.
Austrian 501, contact Wien radar on 126.275,
Passing
goodbye.
altitude.
126.275, Austrian 501.
Yeah, that looks alright.
And I am 21 miles to Venice.
Perfect. So we're still climbing 240.
Delta Alpha Sierra, Wien
Have you connected to VATSIM already?
Yeah, I'm just doing
Proceed
it.
direct
Okay.
Ballard, cleared Ballard 6 Lima, transition, expect ILS 16.
Direct Ballard for Ballard 6 Lima, transition for ILS 16.
Yeah, so the shared flight app is a new app that's being developed right now. And I mean, this is a good demonstration. So Mark, my first officer, so my shared flight buddy, has had a crashed desktop, which is unfortunate. But in the Toliss, you can use the autosave function to then reconnect again. And that's a huge advantage of the shared flight app that allows you to do so.
Direct BSAT, expect BSAT 6 Lima transition for ILS.
So 2,000 feet to go.
Austrian 738.
Windmill 711, contact Wien radar 126.275, goodbye.
26275, bye-bye, Windmill 711.
Yeah, I'm back now. I can do this.
Okay, so frequency is on 1, you can just call him.
Oh, you've done it.
Yeah.
Good evening, it's the Windmill 711, passing flight level 230 to 240.
Windmill 711, Wien radar, good evening, identified. Continue climb flight level 340.
Climb 340, Windmill 711.
Okay, so we've got thrust climb, up climb. Actually, I'm going to put that back to nav. So climb, out blue, 340. Fantastic. So that has resynchronized. Do you see any issues, Mark, with the routing in the FMS bunny?
Just checking now. I
Yeah.
mean, that's amazing. If that's
Yeah, so I haven't cleared out the rat nav yet. And I have not copied the secondary yet.
no, it looks fine. So I'll go ahead and do the. Copy active. Wow, that's really impressive.
And so this is one of the reasons I stopped using Smart Copilot, is because I need something reliable that, should anyone have a crashed desktop on his sim, that you have the option to get reconnected. And so yeah, hats off, Jason, well done. So that has worked very nicely. GG's. So coming back to the...
Headings 275, so Unicom Schnamt.
Unicom 128, you're going 275.
Coming back to the flows. So lineup checklist comes once lineup clearance is received. You're about to enter the runway, do the lineup flows, which we've done, and then read the lineup checklist, which we've done. After takeoff climb procedure, so there's no checklist for this phase. So once the gear and flaps are retracted, the pilot monitoring will disarm the spoilers and switch off the landing gear, turn off and taxi lights. So we can see that everything's done. Then passing transition altitude. Good night, Lilo. Take care. Yeah, enjoy the stream. Big shout out. And then the pilot fly will call out set standard, and unfortunately that's where Mark had his crashed desktop. So we set the standard, and then you would call out standard cross-check. So the pilot monitoring will say standard cross-checked, passing, flight level, whatever he or she reads off his altimeter there. And then after that, it's literally just normal flying, 10,000 foot flows, where you clear out everything from the FMC or the MCDU and make sure seatbelt sender switched off if it's not too turbulent. Switch off the lights. Yoda, no, I need to talk to Senchai. The flows, so the flows, yes. So on the website you have the normal workflows. So I can show you that.
Austin faster on present position direct Rattenberg. Direct Rattenberg, Austin 501.
So if you go to my website, go to documents, A320 documents, you have the procedures. Let's have a look where that was. Checklist. Supplementary. Technical. No, where was that again? Documents, briefing, flight phases. There we go. So under index, you have cockpit flows, all phases of flight. That's a PDF file. And so that's the normal start flows that you have to do, pilot monitoring and pilot flying. And what's missing is the trigger list. So when you do what items and when do you read which checklist. I'll ask Senchai to upload that as soon as possible. What kind of wind do you have on your display, Mark?
I have 068 at 99 knots.
Yeah, almost the same. So I have 074 right now, 99, but that's close enough.
Yeah.
So you would expect that with that kind of cost index of 5, with lots of tailwind, the commanded cruise or climb speed is going to be very low today. Amantha, well, I don't know exactly what the pricing will be, but so the idea would be to have a subscription fee for the server, because to get connected you have to have a server. So if I'm not mistaken, there's a server in the US and a server in Europe, and I think a server in Asia somewhere. And so these servers do cost money. Right, 1,000 feet to go. Just checked. Vertical speed Mach. Hey Hayden, how you doing? Yeah, Yoda, I can do so, yeah. I'll put that into the announcement channel, Yoda. Yeah, it should be there in 3 seconds. There it is. Okay, here comes level 340. Is it cloudy on your screen, Mark?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's 6/8. So.
Yeah, same. Nice, cool. Right, outstart. TCAS below, please.
TCAS below.
So we've reached a cruising level, and what we normally do is then check through the system displays, so engines, bleeds, check pressure.
Windmill 71, contact Adria 130.00, goodbye.
130.00, windmill 71.
Cool. What I always feared that shared cockpit is off sync, which might cause some trouble in the further phase of flight. No, not really, Captain Mitchell, no. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for Mark to do his call and...
SW63 miles, we are on arrival.
New subscribers, please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks, and
Caso to Alpha.
Is that it's a Vico.
Thank you.
Yeah. Give me a second.
Fuel is not preventing you to fly direct Bravo Echo 103.
Mañana.
Yeah. Avanti, avanti. Or andele, andele.
Direct Bravo Echo
British Moose, thank you for 31
SW63
months.
Mark.
That's really kind. Thank you, British Moose. I hope you're doing well.
Thank you, Marco. Adria, WH, check your microphone, readability 1 out of 5. WH, Pegasus 1 to Bravo 370, bound gun. Foxtrot Yankee Tango 1712, WH, Adria Raider, you are identified.
Windmill 711, flight level 340.
Windmill 2511, inbound Aglip, flight level 370.
Windmill 711, very good evening, Adria Raider, you are identified.
Perfect. Thank you much. Super duper. Right. What do you think about the recent Flabberwire 380 preview? Looks amazing. Yeah, I mean, texture-wise, brilliant. If they get, you know, the aircraft to feel heavy as well. Perfect. Love it. Right, Mark, would you be so kind to get the ATIS, please, for...
Roger, Roger.
Oh, we actually do have it. Wow.
Adria Radar WH, answering 5, Mike Foxtrot, I believe, sorry, answering 5, Mike Papa, flight level 300. Answering 5, Mike Papa, WH, and service Adria Radar, you are identified.
So we have wind 70 degrees, 18 knots.
So, bit of crosswind from the right. So 070 at 18, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
QNH 1038.
1038 QNH. Temperature
is 2.
2, thank you much. Pretty cold for Venice. Blimey.
Mr. 2511 identified.
So it's a short flight, so I need to get preparing.
25 Tango Charlie identified.
And we'll check the minimums. Cat 1, that's the Zulu for right. Charlie's 210, so put 210. And then I'll have a look if we can set some nav aids. So we could put Tango Echo Sierra.
Zagreb Airport, ready to copy clearance to Vienna.
Yankee Victor Alpha,
Frozen pizzas.
Radar clear to destination Vienna, output T1 uniform departure out of runway 04, climb initially 6,000 feet, squawk 5270.
Cool. I will calculate the data and we'll use the live data, so the values we've just been told. Is there any cloud cover below, let's say, 1,500 feet?
Windmill 711, descent flight level 300.
Descent flight level 300, Windmill 711.
So we've got vertical speed, altitude 300. So landing weight 59 tons. Yeah, well, I'd say 58.5 maybe. 58.5. We'll do a config, even though I don't like it. But we've got lots of wind, so we're going to config 3 landing.
5 Mike Papa, descent level 200.
I'll add 5 knots of additional speed. because gusty winds probably is a bit better to add 5 knots. To not drop below VLS. And then you've got low reverse, we'll have off, and then we'll compute that. So, required landing distance is predicted, let's put predicted 1400 meters.
Continue descent level 120. Continue descent level 120.
And let's have a look. For the airport. So we'll probably go off Foxtrot.
Yankee Victor Alpha, wind 020 degrees 6 knots.
Let's see if I have some data for that. I do actually. So Foxtrot is 1760 meters. So that's perfect for auto-brake low.
Windmill 711, continue descent level 210.
Continue descent level 210, windmill 711.
Yeah, 210.
With 6301, the radio check. 6301, the radio 5. Thank you.
Good. One thing I'll do as well, I'll check that all the restrictions are correctly set. So Barzok, I want to have 270 on the speed and between 120 and 100.
Good evening, entry radar, your Baltic Delta.
So we don't have any restrictions in yet, so I'll put below 120.
Baltic Delta, 49, you're leaving my airspace, monitoring Nico 128, bye-bye.
Uh-oh. It's a bit laggy, something's loading in. Yeah, should be back now.
Yep, there you go, bye-bye Baltic Delta.
So, Barzok, 120 below, speed constraint is 270.
Milano 127, 450, Austrian 5 bye-bye, see you next time, have a nice evening. You too, bye-bye.
So then we've got next one
identified via seat climb flight level 170.
is 855, 230 knots below 90.
You're pretty much very unreadable.
And then 850 below level 90, 230 as well. That's correct, that's correct. And so we maintain that until 840, and they would have speed to 210. Yeah, 210 below 90. And 210 knots until we hit pretty much Laren. And then we've got minimum altitude 6,000, 5,000, 5,000, 4,000.
711, continue descent level 190.
Continue descent flight level 190, windmill 711.
Right, 190. Just going to check the grid altitudes here on this page. So I can see highest grid is still 10.9, so 11, 12,000. Let's say 12,000 would be safe. Terrain is getting lower as we get to the Mediterranean Sea, and then we are over it until we hit Barzok as well. So terrain should be no factor. And I can see the coastline up front there. There we go. Cool. So automatic low. RATNAV is set. Minimums is set. Okay, Mark. So can you check the entries, please?
Yes, sir.
Radar, hello, Lufthansa 5 Hotel Papa 2,800 for 5,000. Correction for 6,000.
Lufthansa 5 Hotel Papa, good evening. The radar you're identified via seat climb flight level 200.
Via seat climb flight level 200.
Yeah, Captain Mitchell, that's really kind. Thank you.
Hotel Papa.
Ah, look at that. That's...
Windmill 711, contact path over 120.725, bye-bye.
We'll get another 78.
Wind
120.725, windmill 711.
correct, bye-bye. Bulgaria 978 Adria, radar set.
So much control, that's really cool.
Squawk 5223, fly Bulgaria 978.
KLM 55 Juliet, 332 out of 5.
Good evening, it's a windmill 711, passing a flight level at 263 for 190.
711, Delta Varsha, identified, descent flight level 190, information Delta, expect ILS 04 right.
Did you hear any of that?
Yeah, Delta 4 right.
Expect approach runway 04 right, windmill 711.
Yeah. So he said information Delta, descent 190.
In 711, Bazog 2 Echo arrival.
Bazog 2 Echo arrival.
Bazog 2 Echo arrival, windmill 711.
So I'm afraid, Mark, if he's really quiet on your side, you need to go to your Windows app settings and then dial that up.
Yeah,
because I can hear him quietly, but I can still hear him. Hey, Mr. Dillon, how are you doing?
Bazog 2 Echo arrival, ILS 04 right, descent flight level 110.
Yeah, that is 04 right, descent flight level 110. And for your information, I read you 3 by 5, but I'll have a look at my audio settings.
Austrian 5 Mike Papa, Roger.
And the windmill 711 affirmative, we're roughly 35 as well, you're fairly quiet.
Check my settings.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, exactly, Mr. Dillon. So I'll be pilot monitoring on the way back. But it's cool that we have so much ATC. That's really, really cool. Love it.
It's strange. We never get it.
You mean that VIP service here? Oh, no.
Something like that.
Stations, radio check, please.
That's better, isn't it? Yeah, that's better now.
Neil 711, proceed to Bazog direct.
Proceed Bazog direct, windmill 711.
Cool. Yeah, Bazok, not Badop. That's one thing I really dislike. These waypoints that sound so similar. So Badop and Bazok. But he said direct Bazok, so proceeding direct to Bazok now.
Austrian 5 Mike Papa, proceed direct Papa Zulu 862.
Proceed direct Papa Zulu 862.
Okay, Max, so let me know when you've checked all the entries and then I'll give you a briefing.
Austrian 5 Mike Papa, after Papa Zulu 862, you're cleared direct Laren.
Yep, entries.
Thank you. After Papa Zulu 860.
So now we're going through the briefing points. So Mark will be first as pilot monitoring to brief his items. So go ahead, Mark.
Windmill 711, descent flight level 120.
120, windmill 711.
And just like in real life, exactly that happens. You want to do your briefing and then ATC comes in with a call.
Okay, so we shall be arriving at Bazog 2 Echo.
Windmill 711, direct Papa Zulu 862.
Direct Papa Zulu 862, windmill 711.
862 it is.
And the train around, as you've already mentioned, is fairly okay. We've got roughly 1,800 feet, the track we're taking, 2,400 to the west and to the north, 7,200 feet.
Pittsburgh, Private Echo Whiskey, descend 2,000 feet, clear direct 04 right.
ILS Zulu, runway 24 right. The approach minimum is 210. And the go-around trajectory, we shall proceed on runway heading to 5,000 feet.
5 Mike Papa, descend 5,000 feet, QNH
At Papa
1038.
Zulu 702, turn right, maximum 200 knots on 117, proceed to Papa Zulu 703. Then turn right to Ocado and hold. Fuel, we have 1 ton extra fuel, which is good for around 40-45 minutes.
Okay, and we climb 5,000 feet in this approach.
5,000 feet, yeah.
1.4 tons is checked. Fantastic, thank you much. I will...
711, after Papa Zulu 862, you're cleared direct Kietzov.
Kietzov direct after Papa Zulu 862.
After Papa Zulu 862, cleared Kietzov direct, windmill 711.
I'm just going to use your MCV to check the spelling of that. Kietzov,
Yeah,
okay.
Kietzov.
So, Kietzov after 862. So that's a nice shortcut. Seatbelts on, please.
Seatbelts on, Captain.
Yeah. Thrust idle, up descent, out blue 120. And currently we are 3,000 feet high. I'm going to use the speed brakes here.
Sorry, Austrian 55 Papa, just to confirm this in 3,000.
And I'm going to increase the speed until level 100 if that's okay with you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Cool. So the thrust is out blue 120, and I was going to tell you that I'm going to go with raw data approach ILS. So we'll have flight directors off board on later. I'll give you a call later on.
Yep.
It's a config 3 landing. So landing flap 3 is on.
After Papa Zulu 862, we are clear direct Kietzov.
Just 1 second, just balancing the volume.
Mm-hmm. And config 3 is selected in the MCDU.
Yeah.
That gives us a stop margin of around about 1,862 meters.
711, descent flight level 90.
Flight level 90, windmill 711.
90. We'll use idle reverse, auto brake is low, we'll turn off left foxtrot preferably, then it's going to be a taxi back on the other runway, 04 left, and very likely we're going to get Lima, and then Mike, and then to the parking stand. Now we have to be careful, we already seen that the numbering on the scenery is outdated, so it's a bit different. So we'll go with our chart and then try to position ourselves according to our chart here. I don't see any hotspots apart from the other runway, which usually is decommissioned in normal phases. Special operations. Don't really see anything. And do you see any threats, Mark?
No, apart from what you've just said. Again, because we'll be back tracking up the other runway anyway, won't we, I expect.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's fine, thank you.
Okay, cool. Transition is in 70.
Wheel 711, speed 230.
Speed 230, windmill 711.
Yeah, selected 230. Speed brakes are still out. It was just a tad high still, so. Beautiful. Right, just put a bit more speed brakes just along the coastline there. Yep. Landing lights are on. Thank you, Mark. So look at the track mileage. It says 45 miles, so we should be alright for the descent path. I'm going to put speed brakes in. So the only clearance was level 90, so we still maintain QNH standard.
Yep.
I'm going to enter 70 into the performance page. Good. Now we can't read the checklist for the approaches yet because we are still missing our QNH setting, and but we are now below 10,000. So we're just waiting for the clearance.
Windmill 711, descent 2,000 feet, QNH 1038.
Descent 2,000 feet, QNH 1038, windmill 711.
Right, 2,000 to set QNH.
5 Echo Whiskey, 8 miles to run, confirm established.
Receiver 5, 8 Echo Whiskey is fully established.
Feedback 5 Echo Whiskey, roger, wind...
So 2000 is non-standard.
8 knots, runway 04 right, clear to land.
Yeah.
Okay, have you set QNH?
QNH set.
So wording would be cross-checked. Yeah.
Yeah, so passing 9,400 now.
Check, thank you much. Approach checklist, please.
Barrow ref.
QNH 1038.
QNH 10.
711, no APC speed restriction.
No speed restriction, windmill 711.
Yeah, I'll leave it at 230 here.
Yeah.
Keep
Seatbelts.
on.
Minimum.
Bar, oh, MDA 210 feet.
Auto brake.
Low.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Approach checklist completed.
Thank you much. Right, so I was going to say, we're with water right now. So 1800 MSA, but 2000 on the localizer will be safe as well, but that's a non-standard intercept altitude.
Austin, Papa, sorry for that, we had connection issues, but we should be back now.
Of around about 6.4 miles from Victor Tango Sierra. And I'll have the ILS Victor in Victor Tango Sierra identified.
Unchecked.
Windmill. So so it's the ATC flight plan is filed under one engine out, but the call sign that we say over the radio is windmill. Oh, there we go. Got a nice view of the Venice city there. And we're going to fly by it on the approach, so it will be pretty. Nice. Exactly. The engine out is windmilling. Exactly that. That's the idea behind it.
Beautiful.
So, track miles, it says 30, so we're good on the path. Trying to speculating on a shortcut in a minute, because 2000 is, normally an altitude that would suggest a very short lineup from the controller, but that is just a speculation there. That would be a beautiful approach for the passengers, wouldn't it?
Windmill 711, cleared ILS Zulu, runway 04 right.
Cleared ILS Zulu 04 right, windmill 711.
Yeah, from here it's not really much to talk about. We got the clearance at a very early stage. That's why we're saying that with that clearance, we would have been ready for a shorter lineup. So via the waypoints as cleared for the approach. Wow, lovely.
Beautiful.
Yeah, normally I don't really come from this side of the for the approach. Normally I'm from the west, but yeah, the scenery comes with some orthos as well, which do look beautiful. I love it. Yeah, Jason, exactly. So what I'll do, I'll just do a gentle descend. I'll stick with the limitations here. So there's no need to dive down to 2000 and have people get lots of noise. Yeah, in parts, Giftswerk it does, right?
Windmill 711, speed 210.
Speed 210, windmill 711.
There we go. Alright, 210. A beautiful sunset here. Cockpit looks dark. Well, we can Yeah, I guess that's XP12 at the moment. Right, I got glide slope, I got localized indications. So
5 Echo Whiskey, taxi via Lima, Kilo, stand 330.
I've got glide slope blue, lock blue, Cat 3 dual, autopilot 1+2.
Awesome, 5 Mike Papa, established on the localizer LS048.
Ground 5 Mike Papa, Roger, speed 190.
Speed 190, Austrian 5 Mike Papa.
Lovely. And just like in real life, you wouldn't really talk much at this stage, because it is the sterile phase. It's below 10,000 feet. We would normally only talk about aviation-related things.
Papa, speed 160 until 5 miles.
What do you mean, why don't I fly a Cat 1 landing? I am. We've got the minimums for Cat 1, 210. Oh, you mean because it says Cat 3 dual? But it always says Cat 3 dual. That's just the capability of the systems. So we could, from the aircraft side...
711, speed 190.
Speed 190, windmill 711.
Flaps 1.
2,500.
Papa,
Speed
wind
checked.
070 degrees 18 knots, runway 04 right.
Yeah, 2,500 is checked.
Into land runway 04
I've got lock star,
right.
that was a late intercept. But I guess that was my fault. I could have eased the turn a bit more. But that's, you know, according to the routing, 210 knots, that's a maximum. Could have done that, but that seems like a very sharp intercept with that speed. Hey, Mr. Flatout, how you doing? So, like we said, it's going to be about 5 more miles before we hit the glide slope. Speed 190. Cabin is ready. Fantastic. Outstar. Thank you much.
711, speed 170 until 6 mile final.
I think that was for us, wasn't it?
Action wind, mid 711, speed 170 until 6 miles.
170, 6 miles, windmill 711.
Perfect. Flaps 2.
Speed checked. Flaps 2.
Mid 711, 8.5 miles to run, preceding traffic medium, 5 miles in front, confirm established.
Yeah.
Windmill 711 established.
Windmill 711, Roger, continue approach, finish 1038.
Continue approach 1038, windmill 711.
Okay, manual thrust. Manual flight. Both flight checkers off, bird on.
Directors off, bird on.
Thank you. And set missed approach 5,000 feet.
Radar, runner 2 Alpha, Quebec, flight level 135, descend on 1 Charlie arrival.
5,000 feet set.
Air 2 Alpha,
Get down.
Quebec, shall expect ILS, runway 07, descend via star, 6,000 feet on QNH
Speed
138.
managed. Thank you.
Descend via star, 6,000 feet, QNH 1038.
Flaps 3.
Speed checked. Flaps 3.
And speed managed, please.
Speed managed.
Thank you. So normally we'd do a VLS check at this point. So we check the performance page, VLS 130. Check that with the speed band. So I would add 1 knot, please. So 136 in the approach, please.
Hang on, coming. Yeah.
Perfect, thank you much. And the landing checklist.
711, wind 070 degrees, 18 knots, runway 04 right, clear to land.
Clear to land, windmill 711. The landing checklist, ECAM memo.
Landing, no blue.
Landing checklist completed.
Well, I don't like flaps 319.
Ground 5 Mike Papa, taxi via Kilo, Mike.
I always regret it. Once I do it, I always regret it.
Taxi via Kilo and Mike, stand 324, also in 5 Mike Papa.
Right, beautiful view. In real life, you have a beautiful view here of the city. There's, don't know how that tower's called, but beautiful. Right, let's concentrate on the landing, guys.
1,000.
1,000. This check was stable. Wind a little bit from the right, 9 knots at the moment, indicating. We were clear to land.
Yep.
Marcus Tower, yeah, that's it. Thank you. Slightly low correcting. There it is, on path.
500.
10 knots on from the right.
Checked.
400.
3 notes, 1 point.
Yeah, correcting, thank you.
$300. 200. 100 above. 100.
So I'll stick with the par piece.
Yeah.
50. Minimum. 40.
Disregard.
30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
First green decel.
Thank you.
Thank you for flying right now.
It wasn't that bad for Grangler. That's how pros do it. Oh, these readouts are terrible. Right. But like I said, I can't land config 3 A319s. I'm really bad at it. Right, let's take the next one to the left here. It's at 259. Descent rate.
Frequency 127.45. Ciao, ciao.
Windmill 711 exiting runway and Foxtrot.
711 for taxi, contact 127.45. Ciao.
12745, windmill 711.
The chat's gonna get banned. Right, we have a replay function, don't we? Oh, hang on. What did we say regarding ground?
What? So I've got it.
Oh, okay, because I don't have anything indicating on.
You just relax, Captain.
Okay. Only facts, yeah.
Jet 25 Alpha, Milano, ciao. You are identified, proceed direct to Malug. Good evening, Venice, windmill 711 on Foxtrot. Windmill 711, Milano, hello. He left you like this. You can cross 04 left. Kilo, uniform standard choice. Okay, cross 04 left, Kilo uniform and standard choice, windmill 711.
Now, I don't know if we. I hope that the scenery has Kilo.
Quebec, continue to descend 4,000 feet, clear the LS approach, runway 07.
Continue to descend 4,000 feet, clear the LS, runway 07, on your 12 o'clock.
Oh, that's a runway, right?
That's a 49 Foxtrot, descent flight level 300.
Descent flight level 300.
Well, on the chart, it has Kilo as a taxiway. I don't think the scenery has it, though. So we'll just go this way. So uniform will be on the apron. And you set standard choice. Alright, we'll park somewhere.
152, descent flight level 100.
Descending flight level 100 und 152.
325 out.
Yeah, regarding the weather, so we've set the QNH as told by ATC.
Delta November, runway 28.
The problem is that XP12 still has issues with the weather updating. So unfortunately, Active Sky XP, so Active Sky for X-Plane, isn't working yet. So you need to use the X-Plane live weather. But there, the updating is very crude, so
sorry, you can continue to send
that's where the issues come from. Okay, Mark, anytime after landing checklist, please.
Landing checklist, radar and predictive wind shear.
Is off, thank you.
Here's checklist completed.
Here's the uniform. We'll just take one of the stands on the left and good.
Yeah.
Alright, APU is started, wonderful. I'll just take this one on the left here. 114. Right, you guys are asking for it. You guys are asking for replays. And I'll prove to you that the line wasn't that bad. Right, it says A321, but we'll stop here. So we align our cockpit view with that, and then we just stop here. So Mark will switch on the APU bleed. Thank you much. And then I'll switch off the engines. And it's pilot, captain's item now. So I'll wait until the engine have spooled down. Below 30, N2 is fine. I'll go
152, continue
beacon
to
off.
the 6,000 feet, the QNH.
And normally I would wait until I have the slides disarmed. But here it doesn't work in the sim. So I have to do this, and then the slides will be disarmed. Okay, Mark. Then Mark has done his items perfectly. So thank you much, and we'll have the parking checklist.
So 152 report reaching.
Sorry, say again?
Parking brake or chocks?
Yeah, parking brake is set.
Engines.
Off.
Wing lights.
Wing lights are off.
And fuel pumps.
Off.
Parking checklist completed.
They used to be MCK, but with the change in items and checklist, that's when they changed it. Right, so you asked for it, guys. While we prepare the other flight, the return flight, I'll show you guys the landing before I reload the aircraft. So flight, what was it? View, there. Oh, okay, I need to disconnect from shared flight. Okay, Mark, so yeah, disconnecting and prepare.
From VATSIM.
Yeah, that's already done. So let's have a look. Here we go. So tower. Oh, hello. Tower view. That is actually literally tower view. Lol. Right, there we go. Tower view. Look where I hit the number, where I hit the runway. Look at that. I mean, look where we. There we go. Look how excellent we hit the touchdown markers there. Perfect. Right in the middle. You can't get better than that. Perfect. Right. Well, let's have a look from the internal view there. All right. It was good fun. Right, let's look this way. All right. But 259 it said in the numbers. 259. Right. While we quickly pause that, I can show you guys a real world landing in Venice not too long ago. Hang on. And then we prepare the return flight. And this time, Mark will be pilot flying, and I will be pilot monitoring. Stay tuned. We're going to leave the stream running this time. So, let me just go with video. That's not the one. Let me just browse, and then I'll show you this one here. So, real world landing, Venice 04 right, A319, and I was pilot flying, and I promise you that landing was better.
2,500. Above. 300. Minimum 200. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard, retard, retard.
So, welcome back. Mark and me are already preparing the return flight. Yeah, so that was an unusual windy and wet day at Venice. There was a low pressure area just towards Croatia that day.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Duo Channel Experience.
Yeah, we had some nice turbulence in the approach.
Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight infotainment will be served.
Yeah, now we're on real time, 1916 UTC.
Hey there. Thank you, BB, for all this amazing content and the learning.
Thank you so much to Krishu coming with 11 months here on Twitch. That's really kind of you. Thank you so much for the kind words and hope you're doing well. Danny, well, I mean, let's put it this way. I hit the markers, so... It's just one thing that catches me out all the time here in X-Plane is when you take out the thrust, even the Airbus just dips down, which the real one doesn't do. So the real Airbus actually will counteract that to a certain extent, so you don't need to pull back, you know, that strongly. So, yeah, so on the left we have Malindley, our good friend, and he'll be pilot flying on the return flight.
Facing west for 07.
For some reason I had an echo there. That's weird.
Me too.
So...
It's probably from his side.
Well, because I mean, this is like, you know, because Mark is sitting on the left-hand side. I mean, yeah, I guess I could sit on the left-hand side as well, right? I mean, it wouldn't really make a difference. Yeah, the viewers will not notice the difference. Although you are, for example, using the left selector. Yeah, let me stay on the right-hand seat, because then I can use all the correct switches here. If I set elevation, I got QNH 1034, so I guess X-Plane's still not loading the correct weather. So Vienna, we're just preparing. We're just looking. Vienna's landing 16, and so let's have a look for the arrivals. And so initially we're going to go to Balat, and then it's going to be a Balat transition.
I think it's the 6 Lima. Yeah.
Let's have a look. Yeah, from Balat. All right, cool. That is the one. All right. If I'm allowed, I'll just yeah, there we go.
Good.
Sorry, yeah, 1038. So just get rid of the warnings there. Cool. Captain, no issues on the walk around. Is it okay to start the APU?
Start the APU.
There we go, APU starting. So I'm just going to wait until Mark has finished all the preparations. I'll prepare my charts in the meantime.
Think packs on or packs off, Captain?
Takeoff performance will have packs off. I try to remember switching them back one after the So we should be parked at 325, I think, here on the correct. Yeah, so that should be in between there. So 325, I think it is. Okay, cool. And then we are departing for right. So was it Rosca 7 Lima, you said? Yeah. Rosca 7 Lima. We do have, was it Milano? I think it was, wasn't it? That was responsible for us. Okay, so Milano is trying to find the frequency here.
There is a traffic 75 Tango Juliet push backtrack runway 25.
It's kind of weird that I hear the echoes from that guy. Just it's kind of strange because here I don't have any control showing on the VATSIM map. Yeah, we're trying to get across that why there is an echo here. Actually. Mark, can I have a look on your VHF2 set? I'm going to try to set 21.5. Right, yeah, so Mark's still preparing everything for the departure. Oh my god. Not sufficient GPU memory, are you kidding me? Lol. Yeah, my X-plane just crashed. Let me just check something here. Yeah, I noticed a fairly low FPS as well while I was in game there. Let's try something. Can you still hear me, Mark?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
That's still echoing that VATSIM.
Yeah, it just felt like, you know, memory leak or something, because I had low FPS as well.
Crazy on that machine.
Well, I'm just wondering if I need to restart my PC or something, but we'll try again. I'm just going to start X-Plane again. Hey Bruno, how you doing?
Bruni.
Redfish, hey, is there a way to turn off the cockpit overhead lights? Yeah, there is. There's a dome light switch. So let me see if I can simply load up X-Plane again and then connect with you. Yeah, so Redfish, I'll show the switch in a second once I've loaded in. Yeah, so XP12, even though there is improvements with, you know, visuals, etc., there's still a lot of things that need to be fixed, like the weather simulation and yeah, JSnap's writing like next version should bring some reduced VRAM waste. So one thing I'm noticing is the moment that no, it's crashed again. Let me just guys, I need to restart my PC just to make sure that I clear out everything. So the stream will end for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then I'll be back again. So give me a few seconds, please.